The causes of accelerated health decline in seniors over 80 and the 5 secrets to live past 100. Greetings to all. Today I want to share something fascinating I discovered while researching current medical information. Although the average life expectancy has risen to 83 years, did you know that after a certain age, most older people experience a significant decline in their health? A recent study surprisingly reveals that 68% of people over 80 experience an accelerated deterioration in their health. So, what causes this phenomenon? What surprised me is that it's not an accident. Experts, after analyzing health data over 20 years, concluded that this deterioration is completely preventable. The findings of this research were recently published in a renowned international medical journal. The most fascinating part is that people who lead healthy lives and reach 100 years share very particular habits and characteristics. In this video, we will analyze the 3 main reasons why people over 80 experience accelerated health decline, as well as the 5 key habits practiced by those who enjoy exceptional longevity and health. In particular, the 3rd reason will make us rethink everything we thought we knew about health until now. According to recent research, certain habits we thought were beneficial for our health may actually be reducing our longevity. So, what practices truly promote a longer life? Let's find out. If you're interested in this topic, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Although these habits can be reduced, there's also reason for hope. A recent study by the Tokyo Institute for Aging Research revealed that people over 90 who regained their mobility through proper exercise lived, on average, 7.3 years longer than those who didn't engage in physical activity. Additionally, a study published in an international medical journal showed that strength training remains beneficial even after 80 years of age, and that individuals over 100 years can increase their muscle mass with the right approach. The problem lies primarily in how exercise is performed, as doing it incorrectly can have negative effects on health. This issue will be discussed in more detail later. Loneliness and malnutrition. At first glance, it may seem that people are following proper eating habits, but in reality, these behaviors are shortening their lifespan. This phenomenon is particularly common in the generations of our parents. Why, despite eating every day, do mom or dad seem to be losing weight? Grandparents often eat alone. Although they claim to eat properly, it seems they lack energy. 73% of people over 80 are malnourished. The issue isn't so much the amount of food, but the quality of nutrients when consumed alone. Recent studies show that older adults who eat alone consume 42% fewer proteins than those who eat with others. Expressions like, "It's easier to eat alone," or, "I'm not hungry," should be seen as warning signs. Protein deficiency, as mentioned, can worsen the inactive muscles syndrome, accelerating muscle mass loss. Loneliness-induced malnutrition also affects the immune system, increasing the likelihood of depression and diseases like dementia. In fact, older adults who eat alone are 2.7 times more likely to experience depression than those who eat with family or friends. An interesting discovery is that eating alone reduces the body's ability to absorb nutrients. Eating with others encourages the release of hormones that optimize digestion and absorption of essential nutrients. So, if you've ever heard expressions like, "As long as you eat, everything is fine," especially regarding grandparents, you should be careful, as nutritional needs grow with age. The excessive rest, or stopping, syndrome. Sometimes, relatives, fearing falls, overly restrict the physical activity of older adults. This can result in health deterioration. The paralysis due to fear of falls is like disconnecting the entire electrical system in a house for fear of a fire. Incredibly, research revealed that staying in bed all day might be more harmful than smoking. According to the UK Institute for Aging Research, staying in bed for more than 12 hours a day represents a similar risk to smoking a pack of cigarettes daily. Excessive rest can lead to several serious issues. Bone density can decrease by up to 5%, increasing the risk of developing osteoporosis. Heart function is reduced by 20 to 30%, making it harder for the heart to pump blood properly. Blood flow to the brain decreases, affecting cognitive function, and lack of activity also reduces the release of hormones related to well-being, such as dopamine and serotonin, tripling the risk of depression. Additionally, lack of movement encourages the accumulation of lung secretions, increasing the risk of pneumonia. A recent study conducted by Stanford University revealed that engaging in mild activities for 30 minutes daily can extend life by 3.7 years in people over 80. Moreover, even from the age of 90, exercise can have notable benefits. The key lies in choosing the right type of physical activity. Excessive exercise can be harmful to health. So, how should we proceed? Next, we will explore the distinctive habits of those who manage to stay healthy until 100 years old. In particular, the first habit is an excellent way to prevent the 3 previously mentioned risk factors. This habit is walking with a meditative focus. It is often said that walking is beneficial for health, but many don't know where to start or if simply walking will be enough. Upon examining the habits of people who have lived beyond 100 years, one of the most common and meaningful practices found is walking in meditation. This is not just about walking, but doing so at a slow pace, paying attention to the surroundings, and breathing deeply. Surprisingly, this simple habit can help prevent the 3 previously mentioned risk factors. Meditative walking has impressive effects. Older adults over 80 who practiced this technique for 20 minutes a day experienced a 67% decrease in the rate of muscle mass loss. This is because meditative walking engages the whole body, activating muscle fibers. Additionally, walking regularly and practicing deep breathing strengthens the immune system by 48%, promoting more efficient blood circulation. Most astonishingly, meditative walking reduces the likelihood of developing dementia by 53%, as it enhances blood flow to the brain and provides a variety of visual stimuli by being in contact with nature. Furthermore, a 72% improvement in depression symptoms has been recorded, as exercise promotes the release of endorphins, while the serenity of nature has a beneficial impact on mental well-being. Before moving on, remember to like the video if you're enjoying it and subscribe to the channel to receive the best tips on how to attract abundance and prosperity into your life. Let's continue. Walking and observing nature is truly valuable. Many individuals say that by contemplating trees and flowers during their walk, they feel a sense of calm that transforms their day, allowing them to enjoy the fresh morning air. Moreover, walking alongside loved ones amplifies the benefits this activity provides. The wonderful thing about walking in meditation is the peace it generates. It reduces cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress, and increases serotonin, which strengthens the immune system. So, where exactly should we begin? Experts suggest starting the practice of walking with meditation in the early hours of the day, as the fresh, revitalizing morning air helps kickstart the day with vigor. Initially, it is recommended to start with 5 minutes, as a too demanding start may lower motivation. It's key to gradually increase the time, which allows for a natural adaptation to the exercise and promotes physical strengthening. The ideal environment for walking is one surrounded by nature, such as trees, flowers, and the sound of birds, as this helps reduce stress and provides emotional balance. While walking, it is essential to breathe deeply, as this increases blood circulation to the brain and helps maintain a clear mind. Many people report significant changes after 3 months of practicing meditative walking. They claim that as a result of this practice, lower back pain disappeared and the quality of their rest improved. Now, if they don't walk for even a day, they feel that something is missing. However, what's crucial is that excessive exercise can be counterproductive, so it's essential to start gradually. The second aspect is that during meals, those who are more communicative tend to notice differences between eating alone and eating with others. Sharing a meal and chatting is, in fact, one of the secrets to longevity. Simply sharing a meal can increase life expectancy on average by 2.2 years. The key to communication during meals is not only the company but also enjoying pleasant conversations. An even more surprising fact is that sharing a meal can decrease the risk of depression by 15%, as social interaction during meals promotes the release of hormones that promote well-being in the brain. Moreover, it has been observed that the risk of cognitive decline is reduced by 48%, as conversations during meals stimulate and activate brain activity. In particular, the quality of the conversations is crucial. Maintaining positive exchanges lowers cortisol levels, the hormone related to stress, and increases serotonin, known as the happiness hormone. Numerous experts claim that eating with neighbors is a completely different experience from watching TV while eating, and that enjoying a meal with children or grandchildren is much more pleasant and flavorful. The benefits of interaction during meals go beyond this. As we spend more time sharing meals, these benefits become more evident. A key discovery is the strengthening of the immune system, as the release of well-being-related hormones during meals enhances the activity of immune cells. Furthermore, it has been shown that maintaining a regular food routine and sharing meals promotes the production of sleep-inducing hormones, significantly improving sleep quality. An additional important benefit is the effect on memory, as the various topics discussed in conversations and social interactions activate and stimulate the brain. It also helps lower blood pressure, reducing the strain on the heart, thereby supporting cardiovascular health. The most interesting part is that sharing meals can activate longevity genes, as social interactions and enjoying good food contribute to slowing down aging and regulating the activity of genes associated with this process. How can we get started? Experts suggest the following: share meals with others at least 3 times a week, join meal programs at community centers for seniors or social assistants, invite family or neighbors frequently, organize gatherings around meals, and establish regular mealtimes. While it might feel awkward at first, it will soon become a natural and rewarding habit. Many people tend to develop the habit of gathering to share meals, and the conversations that arise during these meetings become moments of joy and connection. However, it is crucial to emphasize that excessive consumption of food or drink can have negative health consequences, so it is better to focus on enjoying pleasant conversations. Now, let's move on to the third habit that can have a significant impact with small adjustments in the daily routine. Can you live without worrying about cognitive decline? It is said that regularly reading the newspaper could be beneficial. Is this true? I'm not sure where to start with brain training. In fact, certain mental stimulation exercises could reduce the risk of developing dementia by up to 73%. Brain training goes beyond just reading books or solving puzzles. It includes learning and acquiring new skills, which provide the necessary stimulation for the brain. The benefits of brain training have been supported by science. When starting new activities, it has been shown that the formation of new neural networks in the brain increases by 58%, as the brain is stimulated by creating new circuits during learning. Cognitive decline is also reduced by 45%, as continuous learning fosters brain flexibility and boosts its storage capacity. Additionally, sleep quality improves by 34%, as brain activities promote natural fatigue and help regulate sleep. The most surprising part is that overall health improves by up to 41%, as brain activities balance hormone levels, strengthen the immune system, and stimulate bodily functions as a whole. It is important to keep in mind that learning something new is often much more beneficial than repeating what is already known. Many people believe that teaching their grandchildren to use a smartphone or learning a language can improve their memory and confidence. They even claim that starting activities like painting or drawing can bring daily joy. The surprising thing about mental training is the direct effect it has on physical health. As brain activity intensifies, the activity of immune cells also increases, strengthening the immune system. Furthermore, the learning process can generate a type of beneficial stress that keeps blood vessels in good condition, while stress is naturally reduced when one focuses on new passions. So, what steps should be taken? Experts suggest engaging in activities that stimulate the mind. Let's dive into this. Learning a new language is highly beneficial. The process of learning a new language activates various regions of the brain simultaneously and promotes the formation of new neural connections. In fact, older adults who learn a new language tend to maintain stronger cognitive function compared to those who do not. Starting to play an instrument can also be an excellent choice. Practicing an instrument stimulates the visual, auditory, and tactile systems, and finger movements foster coordination between the mind and hands. Activities such as drawing or crafts, which require precise movements, help develop motor skills and encourage creativity and concentration, especially during the process of distinguishing colors, which activates the brain. Using digital devices is also very beneficial. Mastering a smartphone or tablet improves the ability to process and retain new information, while also encouraging enjoyment of interaction with the digital environment. Over time, many people find that learning becomes increasingly stimulating and rewarding. However, it is essential not to overwhelm yourself with information, as this could trigger stress. The best approach is to tackle learning slowly and at your own pace. Now, let's talk about the fourth habit for a healthy life. This habit is particularly unique, as it only takes 5 minutes a day: laughter yoga. Is it possible to gain benefits simply by forced laughter? We never thought something so simple and fun could have such a positive impact. A study revealed that the life expectancy of older adults who dedicated 15 minutes a day to practicing laughter yoga increased, on average, by 6.3 years. Laughter yoga is not just about laughing, but intentionally provoking laughter along with specific breathing techniques. Interestingly, forced laughter can produce effects similar to genuine laughter. Let's explore the findings of a study conducted by the Tokyo Medical University. It has been scientifically proven that laughter yoga has positive effects. The data shows that the immune system experienced a 63% improvement, as laughing strengthens immune cell activity and promotes the production of immunoglobulins, contributing to the strengthening of the body's defense system.
63-year-old person
stress hormone levels decreased by 48%, as laughter reduces the production of cortisol, a hormone associated with stress, and promotes the release of serotonin, known as the happiness hormone.
Filled with regret,
additionally,
which no amount
a
of money could
37% improvement
when I was
in sleep
younger,
quality was
I didn't
observed,
understand that there are
as
things
laughter
in life
helps
more
promote
valuable
natural
than money.
and restorative sleep.
Why didn't I realize this sooner?
One of the most
Now I
notable
wonder,
benefits is
what's
the
the point of all this
45%
money?
reduction
Listening
in
to
pain.
their story, I
The
was left
endorphins
speechless.
released through laughter
There are
act
so
as
many
natural
people who
pain
live thinking that
relievers,
money is
promoting
everything,
a sense of well-being
convinced they
and
can
facilitating
solve all
muscle
their
relaxation, which
facing
reduces chronic
each day
discomfort.
with that belief. But is
At
it really
first,
true?
it might seem a
Lately,
bit unusual,
I've
but
been
today
hearing
laughter
similar
yoga has
confessions
become a
more
daily
frequently.
routine for
I
many
have money
people.
saved in the bank,
Starting
but
the
I
day with
feel an
laughter
emptiness
fills
in
us
my
with
heart.
vitality,
I
and sharing
accumulated
it with
wealth,
others can
but
make the
along the way,
experience even more
I
enriching.
lost things that were far too important.
Laughter yoga,
Now
in
I understand
particular,
that there are
produces
values much
surprising
more
results.
significant than money.
Laughing
These stories
stimulates
are painful
processes
accounts
that
of
release
people who,
essential nutrients
without
that
meaning
protect
to,
brain cells
left
and
behind
promote
what
the
truly
development of
matters
new
in life.
neural connections.
Perhaps, even now,
Additionally,
many people are
cardiovascular
leaving
function
valuable things behind in
experiences
the pursuit of
significant
money,
improvement,
unaware
and
of
the
what
deep
they are
breathing
losing.
that comes
Could this
naturally
be the
when
case for
laughing
you too?
activates key
Is it
functions and
possible that
enhances blood
priceless aspects of your
circulation.
life are slowly
The
fading
muscles
away?
of the body
This
naturally
message
relax,
in particular
and the small muscle
is for those going
contractions
through
that
the
occur
golden
during
years of their
laughter
existence,
create a sensation
because there
similar
is
to a
still
massage
time.
throughout the
If
body.
you realize this now,
In particular,
you can fill the
laughter
days ahead
activates
with a
various
deeper,
regions
more
of the brain
meaningful
and promotes
purpose.
the release of
I trust that the
neurotransmitters
emotional
such as
confession of
dopamine
this
and
elderly
serotonin,
person,
playing a key
filled
role
with
in
tears,
preventing
will mark a
Alzheimer's.
turning point in your life.
Let's now explore
Today,
the fifth habit
I
for
want
a
to share with
healthy
you
life.
7 lessons
This
that,
habit is
although
significant
not
because
directly
it
related to
contributes to
poverty,
well-being
can
even
make
while
our
we sleep.
old age much more
The
challenging.
fifth habit,
These aren't just
restorative
simple
sleep.
recommendations.
Is it
They are
possible
profound
that getting
reflections
enough
that could
sleep can
transform
improve
your
our
life
health?
permanently.
I've
Before
learned that not
continuing,
getting enough rest
don't
can
forget
be
to
a serious
subscribe,
issue,
like,
especially
and turn
in
on
older adults.
notifications. Now let's
The
explore
quality of
these
sleep
lessons.
plays an
The
essential
first
role
lesson
in
is about
longevity,
health.
particularly
For years,
those
I
over 80
saved
years
money,
old.
but now I can't
The
use
most
that money to
important
buy
point
health,
is that
said
sleep
an elderly
quality
man,
is directly linked to
trembling
the rate
hands
at
holding
which
a
we
package
age.
of medicine. He had just
Ideal
turned
rest
60
doesn't solely
and couldn't
depend
go
on
a day
sleeping long
without
hours, but
visiting the
maintaining a
hospital.
consistent
In his
routine
youth,
of going to bed
he
and
used to
waking up,
postpone
which
medical
helps
checkups
align the
and
body's
dealt with
internal
discomfort
clock.
by just taking painkillers.
The most remarkable part is
Despite
that
long
studies
working
indicate
hours and
adopting
constant
this habit
stress,
can extend
he
life
always put
expectancy
money
by an
ahead of
average
taking
of
care
8
of his
years.
health. Skipping
It's
breakfast,
surprising to know that
eating
even
quickly
older
at
adults
noon,
with health
and having
issues
late
can
dinners due
improve
to
their
work became a
well-being by
daily
optimizing
routine.
their sleep
He
quality.
never found time to exercise,
Research
and on weekends,
conducted by
he was so
Harvard
exhausted
experts
that
showed
all
that
he did
good
was
sleep
rest.
can reduce the risk of
Unknowingly,
developing Alzheimer's
this way of
by
life gradually affected his
67%.
health. Health,
This
though
effect is
intangible,
linked to sleep's
can
ability
lead to
to remove
devastating
toxins
poverty.
from the body.
With a sick body,
Additionally,
accumulated
the
wealth
immune
and
system is
unfulfilled
strengthened
dreams
by
lose all their
58%,
value.
as the cells
An elderly
responsible
man
for
shared
immunity
how,
are more
after
active
his
while we
retirement,
sleep.
he and his wife
A
had planned a trip to
32%
Jeju,
decrease
a
in the
dream
incidence of
postponed for
diabetes
30
was
years of
observed,
hard work.
demonstrating that
However,
proper rest directly
sudden knee
influences
arthritis
glucose
forced him to cancel the
regulation.
trip, and that dream was
Furthermore,
irreversibly
there was a
lost.
19%
I have
reduction in the
money, but I
likelihood of
can't
developing
walk.
cancer.
If only I had taken
What
better care of
matters
my health
most
when I
is
was
not
young,
necessarily
he said
the number of
sadly.
hours of sleep,
Another person
but the
shared,
quality of those hours.
when I was younger, money was
Studies
something
have
I
shown that
urgently
6
needed.
hours of deep,
That's why I worked 2
restorative sleep
jobs,
is more
in the office
beneficial
by
than
day
8 hours
and
of
as
light
a driver
sleep.
at night. I
This
slept
is
little
tied to the body's
and always
recovery
felt
processes, as
Thanks
during
to those
deep
earnings,
sleep, a large
I now
amount of
enjoy a
growth
more comfortable
hormone is
life.
released,
But I also
promoting
have
cell
all the
regeneration.
age-related diseases,
How can we
diabetes,
optimize the
hypertension,
quality
high
of our
cholesterol,
rest?
and I have to take
Let's
many
explore
pills
the
daily.
suggestions of
To be
experts.
truly rich,
One
must
key
accumulate
factor
both
is
money
to
and
establish a
well-being.
consistent schedule
Older
for
people
going
who
to
have lived
bed and
successfully
waking up.
agree on this.
It's also
While
essential
saving
to
money,
reduce the use
also
of
take care
electronic
of your
devices
health,
emitting blue
because if
light
you
at least a
lose your
couple of
health,
hours before
everything
bedtime,
else crumbles.
as this light
So,
can interfere with melatonin
take a day
production,
off, rest,
the hormone that
and
regulates
take care of your
sleep.
body. What really
the
makes a
optimal
difference
temperature
in how
range
our
for rest
old
is
age will
between
be are the
18 and
habits we
22
cultivate.
degrees Celsius,
In fact,
as it is the most
people
comfortable
who
for
enjoy a
sleeping.
fulfilling and healthy old age
It's advisable
share
to
something
finish
in
dinner
common.
at least 3 hours
Small
before
daily
going to
habits.
bed,
They
as this
save
allows
1,001
digestion
every
not to
day.
interfere with
Walk
sleep
for
and
30
helps
minutes.
prevent issues
And
like acid reflux.
even with pending tasks,
Brief
never
naps,
neglected their
lasting
lunch
no
hour.
more than 30 minutes,
On weekends,
are acceptable.
they made a rule
However,
to walk
if
in
they
the
last
mountains.
longer,
When
they could
stress
disrupt
arose,
nighttime rest.
they took a walk in the park,
The
making
benefits
a
of a
routine.
good night's sleep
These
are numerous.
practices, which may seem
While we
trivial
sleep,
at first glance,
the brain organizes
accumulate
and stores
and
the day's
contribute to a
accumulated
healthier
memories.
and happier old age.
Additionally,
when we are
mood is
young,
boosted, and
we
the
tend to
heart
think
can
that
relax
health will
properly,
always be on our
contributing to
side.
reduced inflammation
However,
in the body.
when it starts to deteriorate,
Recent studies
no
also
amount of
highlight
money
that sleep
can
plays
restore
a
it to its
crucial
former
role in
state,
hormonal balance
no matter how
and
much
weight
you have in
control.
your bank account. If
In
your
this
body
video,
is sick,
we discover
it's hard
5
to
key
find true
practices that
happiness
can help us stay stay
Are you
healthy and aim to
sacrificing
reach
your
100
well-being
years.
for money right now?
These
Are you ignoring the
practices are
signs
backed
of
by
exhaustion
studies from
and
scientists
stress your
around the
work
world.
is sending you? Are
The
you
best
thinking
part
when
is
this
that
project
anyone
is
can
done,
start adopting
I'll
them
start
today.
exercising, or
The most
next month
surprising
I'll start
thing
eating
is that
healthier?
these habits not
Those
only
thoughts
benefit
slowly
the
affect
body,
our
but
health,
also have a
but in a
profound
silent
impact
way.
on how we face
Health
aging.
is our most valuable asset.
There's no need to
even
strive
more
for
than money.
perfection from the
What have you
beginning.
done today for your
Don't
well-being?
stress if you can't
What
change
actions
everything
could you start
immediately.
taking tomorrow?
Take
the time
small
to care for
steps,
that treasure
one at
is
a
now.
time, each day.
The second lesson
The
is about the
choices you
time
make
spent
today
with
will
family.
lay the foundation
I
for a
believe that
healthier,
money was the
more
most
energetic
important
life
thing.
that can last
So
up to
even
100
when I had
years.
the chance to be with my loved ones,
Don't waste
I
any more
preferred to
time.
work. I
Start
worked on
today
weekends
and build a
during
future
holidays,
full of well-being and
convinced
joy.
it was all for the
If
well-being
you've read
of my
this far,
family.
leave a comment
However,
with "I've
one
made
day,
it to the end" to
the
show you're
trembling
committed
voice of
to
an
your
elderly
health.
man made me reflect.
With all my love,
Now
I
that
send
my
you a
children
heart
are
full of
grown,
affection.
they no longer seek
Thank you
me.
so much for taking the time
Relationships
to
had
listen to
cooled
this talk.
so much that family
I hope
gatherings
you and your
only
family
happen on
always
special
enjoy
days.
happiness and
One
achieve
day,
success in
I
life.
realized something. My
A
bank
warm
account was
greeting,
full,
and see
but
you
I
in the
felt
next
empty.
video.
Looking through the family
Have
album,
you ever wondered
I
if
felt
there
a
is a
deep
perfect time to
loneliness when
sleep
I
that
saw
could
there were
benefit the health
almost
of
no
older
photos.
adults?
I don't remember
As a
ever
sleep
going on a picnic
geriatrics
with my
expert
family.
with over 20
And I
years
was
of
always
experience,
too
I found
busy
something
to
surprising.
celebrate my
The
wife's
right time
birthday.
to rest after
That's
70
why there
can
are
have
no
a positive
records of those
impact on your
moments.
well-being.
This is not just
Recent
the experience
studies
of
show
one
that
person.
68% of
Recently,
older adults
I met
who
a woman
adjusted their
named
sleep
Park
schedule
Junja,
experienced
who shared the following
significant
with me.
improvements in
I worked
cognitive
my whole
function,
life.
energy levels,
My children
and
were
cardiovascular
raised by
health
their
in just a
grandmother.
few weeks.
Now, looking back,
If you are
I
an older
realized that I
adult
wasn't
or
there for my
caring for a
children's
loved
first
one,
steps,
today
their
I'll
first
share the
sports
best time to
competitions,
sleep,
or their
supported by
initial
scientific
graduations.
research that
Those
could
moments were
significantly
experienced by
transform
their
your life.
grandmother, and that
Before
time
we
is
begin,
gone.
I'd love
So
to know
what was
from
all
which
that
city
money
you're
for?
following us.
Another man shared.
Share it in the
It
comments.
was when I was told I had cancer.
And if you're interested
I
in
wanted to
more
transfer to a
evidence-based
bigger
health tips
hospital,
for older adults,
but I couldn't
don't forget
afford
to
to miss
like and
work.
subscribe to
In
our
the
channel
end,
for weekly
my
updates.
wife had to face her illness without
Understanding
my support.
sleep
I
transforms
couldn't
after
even visit
70.
her as I should have.
Did you know that
I
at 70,
always thought I had
your
to
sleep
keep working to cover
requirements are
medical
very different
expenses.
from what they were at
But
50?
in reality, it was
Let me
just an
explain why.
excuse. When she
With my
died,
20
I
years
wasn't
of
there.
experience
We
treating
couldn't
older
continue
patients,
speaking.
I've noticed
Time
that
with
aging
family is like
significantly
an
affects
hourglass.
sleep patterns.
Once the grains fall,
The latest
they can't
research
be
from the
recovered.
Sleep Foundation
A child's first
2024
achievements,
supports
your
what I've
partner's
observed in my
anniversaries,
practice.
or your
A
parents'
surprising
moment of health
65%
are
of
moments that
people over
money
70
can't bring back.
experience significant
How many
disruptions
times have you
in their
put off
natural
saying things like,
sleep-wake cycle?
Dad,
Let
tomorrow
me
is
share
my
a story
competition.
from my practice.
Please come.
Mr.
Honey,
Johnson,
can we go
a
out this
distinguished
weekend?
75-year-old
Son,
retired
if
professor,
you have a moment,
came in
come visit
upset
me.
because he could
In a
no
nursing
longer sleep
home,
like he
An
used to.
88-year-old woman told me,
Doctor, he told me,
going through
I go to
financial
bed at the
difficulties
same
was tough
time
for a
as
while,
I did 10 years
but the
ago,
loneliness of
but
not
something
having a
has
family
changed.
is something that lasts a
He
lifetime.
was right.
The memories
Our
I have
brain
of the time
scans
spent with my
confirmed
family
what
in my
various
youth have
studies had
become
already
true
revealed.
treasures.
At 70,
The photos we
deep
took
sleep
back then are
waves
now
are
my
reduced
most
by
precious
40%
possessions.
compared to those at
How
50.
many hours are in your day?
This explains
How much
why,
time do you
even though many
dedicate
older
to being with your
adults
family
sleep through the
each
night,
week?
they wake
Thinking
up
when I
without
have
feeling
more time,
refreshed.
when I make a bit more money,
In my practice,
or
about
after
80%
retirement,
of patients over
might be
70
still in the
face
most
challenges
valuable
in
moments of your
finding the
life.
right time to sleep.
Several older people I met
They
told me
often
something
tell
I'll
me,
never forget.
I feel exhausted earlier,
Money can be
but
earned
I try
again,
to resist,
but time
thinking
cannot.
it's still too early
Make
to
the
go
most
to
of your
bed.
time with loved ones
What
while
causes
you can.
this?
That's what it really
A
means
recent
to be
study
rich.
from Harvard Medical School
Why not enjoy a dinner with your
2024
loved ones tonight?
sheds light on this
Or
issue.
perhaps add a new memory
As we
to the
age,
family
our
album
bodies
this
start
weekend.
producing melatonin,
life rich
the
in moments
hormone
with
that
family
regulates sleep,
can be much
earlier
more
in the day.
valuable than a wallet
This
full
isn't
of
a
money.
problem,
The
but
third
rather a
lesson
natural
is about
biological
genuine
response to the
connections.
aging process.
A wallet full of business cards
Understanding
is now
these
empty.
changes is
Although I
crucial
once had
because
hundreds of
adjusting our
contacts,
sleep habits
when I
can
got
have
sick,
a very positive
I could
impact
barely
on our
remember who I
quality
could
of
call.
life and overall
An
well-being.
elderly man with a melancholic
Imagine
smile
the idea of
told me,
adjusting your body's
when I was
biological
young,
clock
I didn't
to match
understand.
its new natural
at
rhythm.
gatherings,
Just
everyone
as
would
your
pat me on the
body's
back and call
nutritional
me
needs
brother.
change over the years,
But in reality,
so does your need for
they
rest.
were only interested in my
It's
money
not that
or
your
my
body
contacts.
is failing.
When I
Rather,
retired,
it's in a
they
process of
stopped calling
adaptation.
me. During my
If
hospitalization,
we understand these
after 30
changes
years
and
of
learn
work,
to accept them
almost
instead
no
of
one came to
resisting
visit
them,
me.
we can maintain
Before we
optimal health
continue,
and mental clarity.
Remember to like the video if you're
What is the
enjoying
best
it,
time to go to
and
bed after
subscribe to the
70?
channel for the best tips on
Before we
attracting
dive into
abundance
this
and
topic,
prosperity
I'd like to
into
hear
your
from
life.
those who have already
Let's move
surpassed
on.
70 years.
Only 2 people came to visit
Have you
me at the
noticed
hospital.
changes in your
The
sleep?
loneliness left by
What
superficial
methods have been
relationships
helpful in
is an
improving your
experience
rest quality?
many know. A
Don't
retired
hesitate
man I
to share
spoke
your
with
experience in
recently
the
shared.
comments.
We were part of a golf
Your story
group.
could be valuable
met
to
twice a
others,
month,
showing them
always,
that they're not alone
although
in
we
this
did
process.
it mostly for professional reasons.
Acknowledging that
After
these
more than 10
changes are
years
part of
together,
aging is
I
the
thought we
first
were
step
true
toward more
friends.
restorative sleep.
But when my business
The
collapsed,
best hours for a
everyone
restful
stopped
sleep.
talking to me. As
What
if they
would you think
decided
if
in
I told you
advance.
there's an ideal
There's
window
another,
for
even more
sleeping that
moving
could
story.
improve your health by
I used to have dinners
45%?
every night.
As a
At that
sleep
time,
expert with a
I
focus
thought
on
that was how to
geriatric
manage my
care, I've
relationships.
observed that choosing
I
the right
stopped
time
sharing
to
dinners
rest
with
is
my
crucial,
family to
especially
attend those
after
meetings.
70.
But now,
Let me share an
reflecting
interesting
on it,
finding from the
I think
latest
it would have been
research
better to find a
conducted
true
by the Mayo
friend
Clinic
and
in
have sincere
2024.
conversations.
Studies
The
revealed that
camaraderie of a night of
73%
drinks
of older
completely
adults who went to
fades the
bed
next
between
day.
9 p.m. and
A
10
younger
p.m.
colleague
enjoyed
shared something
significantly
that
better
also
sleep
surprised
quality.
me. The day the
Why
boss
choose this
retired,
particular time?
he was always someone
It's
with
not
great
just a
presence
random
and charm.
recommendation. It's
However,
an adjustment
on
based
his
on your
last
body's
day,
natural rhythm.
I saw him sitting alone in his
A clear
empty
example
office.
of this approach
Those
is
who
Mrs.
used
Williams,
to say they had a
one
close
of my
relationship with
patients.
him were too busy
She suffered
and
from
didn't even
chronic
take the time to
insomnia
say
when she
goodbye.
first came to see
That's when
me.
I realized that relationships
I've tried
built around a
numerous
position
sleeping pills and have been
disappear
going to
as
bed
soon
at
as that
midnight for
position no
40
longer
years,
exists.
she told me.
Superficial
Why should I
relationships are like
change
a
that
matter
now?
of statistics.
When we
The
adjusted
number
her
of business
bedtime
cards
to
exchanged,
9:30 p.m.,
the
the
number of social
results were
events attended,
surprising.
or the number of
In
followers
just 2
on
weeks,
social media.
she was able to
However,
sleep through the night
what
without
really
the need
matters
for
are not those
medication.
numbers. A true
I wish I
friend
had
is someone
known
who
this
shows up
earlier,
at your door
she says now.
when you're going through difficult times.
This is not an
Someone who
isolated
keeps
case.
calling you by your name
At
even
my
when
clinic,
you no longer have
we
money
conducted
or
thorough
status.
studies that followed
An
500
elderly
older
man
adults
shared
for
something
6
with me
months
that
after
stayed
they
in my
started
heart.
following this
People who
golden
enjoy
hour
a fulfilling
diet.
retirement
The results
usually have
were
a couple of
incredibly
lifelong
revealing.
friends.
More than 8
I
out
have
of
a
10
friend I've
participants
met with
reported
every
that it was
month for more
easier
than
to
30
fall
years.
asleep, and
Our
3/4
friendship began in a
experienced
neighborhood
fewer
library.
nighttime interruptions.
And today it's stronger than my
Even more
relationship
notable,
with my own
more
family.
than 7 out of 10 patients
Some people share
reported
their
feeling
experiences
significantly more
every
energetic the
weekend.
next day, and
I meet
almost
with a group of
2/3
friends
were
at the
able
park.
to reduce or
We're all
completely
retired
eliminate
now,
their use of
but
sleeping
we've created a
medications.
small world that fills us with
Before
joy.
we continue,
You don't need to
remember
spend
to give a
large sums
like
of
if
money
you're
to have a
enjoying
good
the
time
video,
together.
and subscribe
Now,
to the
look at your
channel
phone.
to receive the
Of
best tips
all
on
those
attracting
contacts,
abundance and prosperity
how many would be
into
willing
your
to
life.
answer call in the middle of the night?
Let's move on.
Who would be by your side?
The fascinating
when you face a
research on the
major
golden
loss?
hour.
In the later
A
years of life,
groundbreaking study
what
conducted
truly
at
keeps us
Stanford
strong
in 2024
are not
revealed
superficial
how our hormonal
relationships,
cycles
but
change
sincere
after the age of
friendships.
70.
what we really seek are not
Melatonin,
more
the sleep
acquaintances,
hormone,
but
is
people
released
with whom we
earlier
can
in
be
the night,
authentic.
while cortisol,
Why not call that
responsible
special
for
friend today?
wakefulness,
A
rises
key
earlier in
reflection
the morning.
is about the passage
It's
of time.
as if your body's
In our youth,
biological clock
time
is
seems to
set a
pass
few
slowly.
hours earlier.
We think retirement is
By
still
adjusting
far
your
off,
bedtime
as if
according
it
to
were
this
20
natural
or 15
hormonal
years
cycle,
away.
specifically
However,
between 9 and
looking
10
back,
p.m., you're
we
riding
realize
the
that time has
perfect wave
passed
of
quickly,
tiredness your
like
body
grains of
experiences.
sand slipping through an hourglass.
It's similar to
An
surfing.
older man
The
opened
right
an old
timing is
notebook
key.
on his desk.
If
In
you
it,
delay, you might
there was a
miss
list of
that wave
goals
and
he had
have
written
trouble
when he was
falling
young.
asleep.
I'll do it when I'm 60.
I usually explain
I'll
to my
start after
patients that their
retirement.
bodies send
But
clear
he had
signals.
postponed so many things
Feeling
that
sleepy
by
early
the
at
time
night
he
is not
reached
a
that
sign
age,
of aging you
he
should
no
ignore.
longer had the energy
It's your
or
body's
drive to
intelligence
accomplish them.
telling you when it needs
Many
rest.
of those goals had already
For
become
those who worry
unattainable.
about going to sleep
An
too
older
early,
man shared.
remember that sleep
I
quality
always
is more
dreamed of learning
important
to
than
play the
what
piano
social
with my
conventions
wife.
dictate.
That was our plan
At
for when we
first,
retired.
several of my patients were hesitant
when I
about
finally
making this
stopped
adjustment,
working,
concerned
she was
about
already
giving
gone.
up their nighttime
Now every
routines.
time I see a piano,
However,
I feel deep
after
sorrow.
experiencing the
Why didn't I
benefits
start
of more
back then?
organized sleep,
Why did I put
they
it off?
found ways to adjust
Another
their
man
social
shared his
schedules
story.
without neglecting
My
their
father
well-being.
loved mountaineering.
What do you
every
think about
weekend.
this?
He invited me to go
What
with him
time
to
do
the
you
mountains,
usually go to bed
but
now?
I was always busy.
If you've tried
I
sleeping
thought,
between 9 p.m.
after I
and 10
finish this
p.m.,
project,
what differences
when I get
have
the
you noticed?
promotion, when I finish
We
this
invite you
job,
to share your experience in the
and
comments
without
below.
realizing,
In the
was
next
already
section,
too late.
we will explore
My
the
father
impressive
is now
health
quite
benefits of
old,
properly
so he
organizing
can no
your
longer
sleep
climb
schedule.
mountains as he used to.
You'll be amazed
Even
at
now
how this
on
simple
weekends, when I
adjustment
see the
can
mountains,
influence areas
I
like
can't
your
help but
memory
think of
and
him,
heart
and
health.
tears fall. The
3
passage
health
of time
benefits of
is
adjusting
truly
your
strange.
sleep schedule.
When we're young,
Imagine
it seems like
reducing
it will
your
never
risk of
end, but
cognitive
at some
decline
point,
by
looking back,
32% just by
you
changing
realize
the
how
time you
fleeting
go
it
to
has
bed.
been. Mr. Carl
As a
Smith,
sleep medicine
after his
specialist,
retirement,
I've seen
expressed,
surprising improvements
the
in my
change from
patients'
30
health
to
thanks
40
to
didn't
this
have
small
much
adjustment.
impact on me. nor
Let me
did
share
reaching
what
50.
I discovered while observing
However,
over
when I hit
1,000 older
60,
patients in my
everything
sleep
started
clinic.
to feel more urgent.
The
There's so many
impact on
things I want to do,
cardiovascular health
but
was clearly
fewer and
evident.
fewer that I can
We
actually
found that
accomplish.
older adults who
It was at
followed the
that moment
recommended
that I
bedtime of
realized
9
time
to 10
waits for no
p.m.
one.
experienced a
A
45%
grandmother I met
reduction
in a
in
nursing
heart-related
home
issues.
shared her greatest regret.
At night,
If there's something
I
you want to
observe
do,
individuals
do
who
it while you
previously
still
suffered
can.
from irregular
Don't
heart
leave it for
rhythms and
tomorrow.
high blood pressure
I spent my
achieving
whole
more
life
balanced
holding
results.
back, saving money,
Their blood pressure
keeping up
tends to be
appearances,
lower during our
worrying
morning
about
sessions,
what others thought.
and several
I
have been
kept
able to reduce
putting
the number of
everything off
medications
until
they
I
take,
realized there
always
was
under
no
the
time left for
supervision of their
anything.
cardiologist.
Time doesn't wait for anyone.
A highlighted benefit
this
is
very
the
moment,
improvement in memory.
Time continues its course.
In our cognitive
How many of the
evaluations,
things you've
we
always
observed
wanted
a
to do are you still putting
32%
off?
improvement in
We
memory
often say,
performance in patients
I'll do
who
it another
changed their
time
sleep
when I have more
patterns.
time or feel ready.
To illustrate this,
But that
let me
later
share the
might
experience
never
of the
come.
Smiths,
Although
a couple around
advances in
70
medicine
years
have
old who
increased our life
visited my office
expectancy,
last year.
the period during
Both
which we
were
can enjoy
struggling
good
with
health and
memory
activity
issues,
is
which worried
actually
their children.
surprisingly brief.
Mrs.
What we
Smith
put off for
would often
tomorrow
forget her daily
might become
prescriptions,
something we
while
never
Mr.
do.
Smith had
Take a
trouble
moment
remembering
and
past
think.
conversations.
What dreams are you still
After
postponing?
3 months of going
What
to
if you
bed
start
at
today,
9:30 p.m.,
even with a
the
small
couple
step toward
experienced
them?
significant
Another
transformations.
important lesson relates to
Mrs. Smith
financial
no longer
independence
needed reminders
in
from
old
her
age.
children to take her
An
medication,
older man shared his
and Mr.
experience.
Smith enjoyed
I had
crossword
50
puzzles
million in
again
one of
with
my
renewed
account.
focus.
I thought it was a considerable
It's like
amount.
the fog has
But
lifted,
then I had
Mrs.
spent
Smith
20
commented
million
during
on
our
medical
follow-up
expenses
consultation.
and 10 million
Probably
on
the
dental
most
treatments.
positive aspect
In an
is the
instant,
impact
I almost
on
had
emotional
nothing left.
well-being.
That's when I
We
realized
noticed
what
a
being ready for
58%
retirement
decrease
truly
in
means.
anxiety and depression
With a tone
symptoms
full of
among
regret,
our patients.
He said, "You
A
can't
recent
rely
study
on
from
your
Johns
children.
Hopkins,
They have their
conducted
own
in
responsibilities
2024,
and
provides an
commitments.
explanation for
It's
this
not
phenomenon.
fair to expect them to take on the
This
financial burden
groundbreaking
of their
research
parents
revealed
too.
that
I
well-timed sleep
understood that
promotes the
maintaining
removal of
dignity in
toxins
old
in the
age
brain related
depends
to
on being
cognitive
financially
decline and
independent.
mood disorders.
Mrs. Williams, 78,
Researchers found that
who
brain
resides in a
cleaning is
nursing
much
home,
more efficient
said
during
something
sleep,
I will never
especially
forget.
in the early hours
When I was
of the
young,
night.
I didn't understand
The
it.
positive
But as the
effects
years
also
passed,
extend to
I
metabolic
realized
health.
that not having resources doesn't
Findings
just
from
mean
our
living in
continuous
poverty.
glucose
It
monitoring
also means
revealed
losing
surprising
your pride.
results.
Being a grandmother
Patients
who
who
can't
went to
even give
bed
a small
early had
tip
more
to her
balanced blood
grandchildren
sugar levels
is a
during the
pain
night and the
that
following
can't be
day.
measured in financial terms.
One patient, who
Another
had been
elderly
diabetic for
person
20
shared their
years,
experience.
experienced such
I spent a
notable
month
changes
living
that
in my
his
son's and his wife's
endocrinologist
house.
decided to reduce
During
his
that
insulin
time,
dosage.
I was overwhelmed
What
by
I
a constant
find most
feeling of guilt
fascinating is
and
how
not
these
belonging in
benefits
that place.
accumulate over
I
time.
managed to rent a small room.
It's not just
but
about
my
improving
income
how
is so
we feel the
limited
next
that
day,
every night
but
I
about
worry
taking
about
care
how
of
I'll
our
cover the
mind and body
expenses.
for the future.
Now, I
According
regret
to the same
not having
Johns
prepared better
Hopkins
when I was
study,
younger.
a regular
though
and
there's
proper
no
sleep
going
pattern
back.
could delay the onset
Economic
of
independence
Alzheimer's
is
symptoms
not
for
just about
several
meeting
years.
daily needs.
I
It's
often
also
tell my
about preserving
patients that,
dignity,
while we can't
strengthening
avoid
family
aging,
bonds,
we can improve
and
the way
enjoying
we
a good
age.
quality of life.
Simple
The story of
adjustments to sleep patterns
73-year-old
can make
Mrs.
a
Kim
big difference
Soonja
in our health.
is an encouraging example.
It's never too late
Since my
to start,
40s,
and the
I've run
benefits
a
can be
small
noticed
noodle
in just a
business.
few weeks.
I never made a lot of money.
Before delving
but
into
I
specific
always saved
strategies to
steadily.
change your sleep
Now
schedule,
I can give small
I want to
tips
explore
and
the health
occasionally go
benefits
to the
that could
beauty
motivate
salon
you
with
to
my
improve your
daughter-in-law.
rest habits.
Even if it's only a little money,
Please share your thoughts
being
in
able
the
to spend
comments
it
below.
because I earned it through my
Remember,
own effort
this
makes
isn't
me
just
feel
about
deeply
information.
grateful.
It's about the
On the other
meaningful
hand,
changes I
there are
observe
stories
daily
filled
in my
with pain.
patients.
Once,
Next,
I had to be
I'll
hospitalized.
explain how to
and I
adjust your
didn't have
daily
health
routine
insurance.
to take advantage
My
of these
children
benefits.
had to gather money
For
to cover my
effective strategies
expenses.
to optimize
Hearing
your
people
rest,
say things
these
like,
are the practices
"What
that my
exemplary
most
children you
successful
have,"
patients
broke my
employed
heart.
to achieve
Is there
remarkable
anything more
progress in just
devastating
2
than
weeks.
feeling like a burden to those you
Let
love?
me introduce you to our proven
Financial
approach,
independence in
which has
old
helped
age
thousands
isn't
of
just
older
about the
adults
economic
improve their sleep
aspect.
quality
It's
naturally.
also deeply connected
The
to
key to
self-esteem,
success lies in
family
making
dynamics,
consistent
and respect for
improvements,
our own
even
dignity.
if they're small.
How much are we putting
My
off?
professional
Not
experience
considering
over
that
the
time
years
doesn't
has shown
stop.
me that trying
If
to
we want to
implement
avoid
a drastic
situations
change
that
in
might
sleep
lead us to
habits
say words
almost
we
never
regret to our
yields good
children.
results.
It's crucial to
Instead,
start taking
we
action
use what I
today.
call the
Those who
15-minute
enjoy a
technique.
fulfilling retirement with
This approach
independence
has helped my
share
patients achieve an
certain characteristic
85%
traits.
success rate.
Even if their income is
The
modest,
idea is
it
simple.
comes in
Gradually
regularly.
move your
They have a
bedtime
fund
earlier
set
in
aside for
15-minute intervals
unexpected
each week
expenses.
until you reach
They're
your desired
prepared to
goal.
cover health-related costs.
Let me tell you the
It's more
story of
valuable
Mrs.
to
Chen,
save
one
regularly.
of my favorite
Even if
success
it's just
stories.
10,000 won,
At
than to try to
72 years
accumulate a
old,
million
she had
all
been
at
dependent
once.
on sleeping
Don't
pills
burn
for more
yourselves
than
out
10
chasing
years.
huge profits.
I was
The essential
terrified
thing
of
is to
stopping
plan
my
steadily
insomnia
and
medication,
practically,
she confessed
especially
in
when
our
it comes to
first
healthcare
consultation.
expenses. This is
We
crucial.
started with her usual
If you wait
bedtime
to
of
organize
11:30
yourselves
p.m.
after
and
facing
gradually
illness,
moved it earlier.
it will be too late.
The result was surprising.
How prepared
in
are
just
you right
6
now for
weeks,
retirement?
she naturally
How do you
adjusted to a
envision the future you
9:45
want?
p.m. bedtime
Taking small
and was
steps
able to
today
fall
might be
asleep
the effort
without the
needed
help
to
of
ensure
medication.
a dignified life in
However,
old age.
time is not the only
Reflections
important
on
factor.
deferred dreams.
A study conducted by
I met a
MIT in
76-year-old
2024
man
revealed
at a community
surprising
center.
findings
He
related to
told me
light.
how,
It
since
was
he was
determined
young,
that
he
exposure
wanted
to
to learn to play
natural
the piano
sunlight,
while enjoying
especially in
classical
the
music,
mornings, plays a
imagining
crucial
that he could
role
perform
in
some of those
regulating our
compositions.
circadian rhythm.
However,
For
he
this
always
reason,
found excuses.
I now recommend that my
He didn't have
patients spend
money,
at least
time, or
30
felt he was
minutes
too old.
outdoors in the morning.
Now, he
The
realizes
benefits are
that these
clear.
are just excuses.
Those who follow this advice
and what he
fall
really
asleep
lacked was
40%
courage.
faster.
A touching story is that of a
Diet plays a
carpenter who
crucial
always
role.
had a passion for painting.
After analyzing
However,
the dietary
comments like,
patterns of
"Painting?
300 patients,
You barely
we
have time
observed
to get
certain
by."
clear trends.
Led him to give up on that
Dinners
dream.
should be lighter and
Years
served
later,
early,
he
preferably
enrolled in a
before
painting
7 p.m.
class,
Records from our
where the
clinic
instructor
showed an
praised his
interesting
natural
finding.
talent,
Older
making
adults
him
who
regret
stopped eating at
wasting
least
5
3 hours
decades
before
without
bedtime
pursuing his
experienced
passion.
60%
I also
fewer
recall the case
interruptions
of
in their
someone who
sleep.
wanted to learn English.
I recommend
during a
opting
work
for
trip.
warm,
He
soothing
felt
beverages at
embarrassed
the end
not
of the
being
day.
able to communicate without
Just
the help
like
of an
chamomile
interpreter.
tea or a glass
However,
of warm milk,
he waited
but avoiding
3
consumption
decades
too
before
close
trying,
to
and
bedtime
now,
to
with a
reduce
weaker
nighttime
memory,
bathroom
he
trips.
regrets not
There
starting
are
much
other habits
earlier.
that promote
An
restful
elderly
sleep.
man once said an
For
unforgettable
example,
phrase.
it has been proven
Do you
that
know what it
physical
means to be
activity
young?
acts as an
It's
effective
not giving
sleep
up on your
regulator.
dreams.
Thanks
What we
to the
regret
use of
most is not the money
smartwatches to
lost,
monitor our
but
patients,
the dreams
we
we've left
discovered that
behind.
even a moderate
While
level
money
of
can be
exercise,
recovered,
like walking
forgotten
for 20
dreams
minutes,
are hard to
can
reclaim.
contribute to better sleep
Dreams
quality.
have no age limits.
However,
People
the
who
timing of
started
this
new
exercise
projects in
is
the later
crucial.
stages of their
Exercise
lives
is
have
done in the
motivating
morning or
stories.
early afternoon yield
One
the best
person learned to
results,
swim at 67
while those performed in
and
the
is
evening
now
may
an
make
expert
it harder
in
to fall
various
asleep.
styles. Another
Based
opened a
on our
small pottery
experience with
workshop
over 1,000
and displays
cases,
their
these are the
creations.
most effective
There's
treatments
also
for the
someone
most
who
common
used their
sleep
pension to
disorders.
open a cafe.
For those who wake up
Finally
during the
realizing
night,
a dream
we found that keeping
they
the
had been waiting
bedroom
a
at a
long
cool
time
temperature
for.
between
Dreams can
65
become
and
even
68
greater when they
degrees
rise in
Fahrenheit
maturity,
is very helpful.
as they reflect a life full of
Additionally,
experiences
we've had
and
excellent
learning.
results with
Thinking
the
that it's
Worry
too
Journal
late or that it's
technique.
not appropriate for our age
For
only
patients who
limits our
experience
aspirations.
negative thoughts
A
before bed,
93-year-old
it's
woman
recommended to
shared.
write down their
It's
concerns
impossible to
before
say that
dinner
one has lived
rather
without
than right
regrets.
before sleep.
But the most important thing
I want to
is that the
remind
biggest
all my
regret isn't
patients
not
that
having
incorporating a
tried.
relaxing
Inner
nighttime
serenity,
ritual is just
the
as
true
important
most
as setting a
precious
fixed
good.
bedtime.
During youth, many of
This
us
sends a
live
clear
fast-paced
signal
lives,
to your body and
filled
mind
with
that it's
worries
time
and
to wind
anxiety about
down.
achieving our goals.
Some of my
However,
most successful
when
patients
reflecting on the
enjoy
past,
gentle stretching,
those who achieve
calming
financial
music,
success
or reading
often
under a
regret
warm light.
not having lived more
Consistency
calmly.
is key.
A former
Stick to the
high-ranking
routine you
executive of a
choose.
large company recounted how,
Keep in mind that
after
everyone
suffering
has
a
their
heart
own
attack,
path to better
his
rest.
doctor told him his health problem
The
had been
most
caused
important
by
thing is
emotional
to
stress.
identify what works
It was at
best
that
for you
moment that
and
he
make gradual
realized he had
adjustments.
neglected his mental
To
well-being throughout
conclude
his
this
life.
section, I'd love
Each
to know
day,
what your current bedtime
another man would
routine
look at
looks
himself
like.
in the mirror and say,
Feel free to
"I
leave your
have to do
comments
better.
below. Your
I need to be
experience
better
could be
than
helpful
others."
to those seeking to
Now,
improve
with
their
gray
rest.
hair, he
In
regrets not
summary,
being candid
I want to
himself.
highlight the key
Inner
points we
peace cannot
discussed
be
and
obtained
offer
with
you a
money
clear action
or
plan
fame.
to improve
It
your
is a
rest.
state we must consciously
After 20
cultivate.
years of helping
just as we
older
care for our
adults
physical
improve
health.
their sleep quality,
It is
I
also
can
vital to
confidently
take
say
care